Welcome back to the series of field view videos. This video we're going to cover off on the projects area, and we'll start with going through the project. So we click into the project, it's red because we haven't put a start time on it yet. A start time will come up automatically. You'll get any job notes in here if there is any particular notes about this job. And if there was anything filled in about first aid requirements. Next of all, you can select who your first aid officer is and your assembly point. You then can, if you've got safe work method statements saved, you can then select the safe work method statement. You can update it on the fly if you need to. You can email that safe work method statement to the client if you need to do that, or you can view it in its entirety. The next step is to do the hazard identification. So we click on the hazard ID. And this will be based on what hazards you've set up. So what I would normally see here is things like traffic and pedestrian hazards, environmental hazards, and based on your risk rating from your hazard identification and risk assessment procedure, pop your pre-assessment in there. Based on which hazards you select here, we then go through to the risk assessment and identify which controls you'll be working to manage that hazard, and specifically what hazards. So if your hazards overhead services, you would then go through and select which kind of overhead services. Is it high voltage? Is it telecommunication? And then you would select the controls that you're implementing just by selecting the checkbox. The next step in the process is before photos. So you can simply choose file on your on your phone. You can take a photo straight from that point. If you've got lots of photos or you're in a bad service area, you can click on the email photos and add your photos to the email and hit send, and they will go whenever your email is back in a good service area to send those images. They will automatically load back into the this particular project plan for this day. Once we're all done submitting photos, so you've got room for one here. When you hit submit, it will give you space to add a second one and submit again. It will keep adding records. Once you're done adding photos, hit submit and start work. So you'll notice now that the project has turned yellow because we've started this project. When we're ready to finish it off, we'll click back into that project. We can now add after photos, and just like the before photos, we can add them in here. Normally we'd put a little note about the context. So this photo is taken from the front or it's taken from the side gate, whatever the case may be. Again, you can email the photos if you've got lots of photos or you're in an area where there's poor service. Hit submit and service report once you're done. And then based on the work type that you selected, when you select a particular work type, you'll have a particular question set of things to check to make sure that job is completed properly. So this particular case, this is really a garden one. Removal litter, trees and shrubs pruned. So then your field worker can go back and mark in, yep, have all these things been done? And if they haven't been done or there's certain comments, you can certainly add them in there. So maybe there's no place to put the rubbish. Yep, and maybe you don't have access to a particular area, so you couldn't do a particular area. Put your notes in there so it's really clear. This will go to the client with the before and after photos, so it can demonstrate that you've completed the requirements of that work. Then we go submit and to the work completed. It will default fill in the current time. When you update the status, was it unable to complete, work in progress, or completed? That will then help your office admin staff or project managers to know what next to do with that project. Add some comments to help them as well. So, yep, is this a work in progress? Reschedule for tomorrow. If it was expected to be completed, uh, if it was expected to be completed and you weren't able to complete it because you couldn't get access or something like that, pop the note in there to make it really easy for your admin team, projects team to get it sorted. Then hit the submit button and you come back and your project's green. If you've got multiple projects, we have a sequence number on the projects as well. They will go in sequence number order. So if you've got a whole run of projects to do on a day, the lowest sequence number will be at the top of the list, so you can simply work through each item. That's really it for our project area.